Welcome to my garden. Today we're going to be planting seeds. I should really say replanting seeds. So I'm going to go through the rows that I've already planted and see if I need to replant anything, which I know that I do. For instance, my broccoli had very poor germination, so I'm going to replant the spaces that are open. Now there are a couple of factors as to why my seeds didn't germinate. Could be because I'm using old seed. I have seed from last year and the year before that I'm using in this garden. Because they are still viable, the germination rate just goes down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant more seeds in each hole, and I'm just going to cull the seedlings that I don't need. I'm going to prep the cabbage row, and I have to weed it first, and then I'm going to plant some cabbage. So I did plant cabbage before. I planted it along the back edge of this bed, and only one seed actually germinated. So I'm going to replant, and hopefully they do better this time. And again, multiple reasons why they didn't do well. I have a feeling it had something to do with watering, so I will do better this time. So last year I had a heck of a time with cutworms. They attacked my cabbage and my beets, some lettuce. They really did a number on my garden last year, but thankfully I was able to figure it out early, and we hunted them down and got rid of them. The chickens very much enjoyed them. So this year, to kind of, I expect them to hit again. So I'm going to be planting more cabbage than I necessarily need, in hopes that I can catch the cutworm when it first hits my garden and get rid of it then, and still have plants to replant that area. Cabbage is done. Next, on to kale. So not all of my kale failed. My red Russian kale had a great germination rate, so I won't need to replant that, but my dwarf blue curled had a very poor germination rate. So you can see a couple of plants here and there, but there are big gaps, so I'm going to replant those. So we're now in the lettuce row. So my lettuce, I planted 3 varieties. 2 of them did great. 1 of them didn't even show up to the party. So I have my trout lettuce here, and then my red lettuce there, and they came up beautifully. But my romaine did not. So I'm picking a different variety. I'm going to go with Butter Crunch. I'm over in the other area that I planted lettuce. So I planted endive over here, which is a type of lettuce, a lettuce green, I guess. And I don't know what it looks like. I don't see anything that looks like lettuce over here, but I can't be positive. So I'm still gonna replant, but yeah, I hope I'm not killing it. So I'm now in my rutabaga, parsnip, and turnip row. And the rutabagas actually did a great job germinating. The parsnips, I don't know what a parsnip looks like, so I'm not sure if they germinated or not. So that's what rutabagas look like. And they did really well. I have a couple of gaps that I might either take some of these close plants and just replant them over here, which is what I'll probably do. And I found a rogue spinach plant, which I'll transplant as well. As the parsnips go, I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? There we go. That's a parsnip seed, so that must be a little parsnip. So they look like grass. But you know, I'm looking at where I planted them, and germination rate was pretty good. So I might not actually replant these. So I just planted some turnips. This is my first planting of them. This is not a replant, so that's great. And then I was in my spinach row, and I saw some cutworm damage down here. So I found some spinach plants that were just cut off from the base. So I'm gonna go night hunting tonight for some cutworms, and I did replant some of the spinach, and I actually just planted a middle row because why not? So that's gonna do it for me with the planting aspect of this. I hear baby, so I think she's up from her nap, so I'm gonna go grab her. We're back in the garden. Baby and I are gonna go water the plants and all those seeds that we just planted. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today in the garden. We'll see you next time. Bye.